You're back better than ever. I think that today is Saturday and it might come out today, just probably sometime later. There will probably still be a video coming out on Thursday, blah, whatever. But welcome to my Monster High, the movie review. I just watched it the other night. So, hi, Bon here. Okay, so I'm gonna split this up into like 2, 3 parts. The first part is just like the synopsis of the movie. The second part is, I guess, my thoughts, and the third is like if you should watch it, I guess. But yeah, okay. So basically, we got Claudine Wolf. And by the way, they made everyone a fucking nerd. I said this in my last video. You should go check it out. I did a video before this movie came out about the trailer and shit. But Claudine is a fucking nerd. She's a half breed. She's half monster, half human. Her mom is dead. I don't think they ever explain how her mom died, but we just know that her mom was dead. Her mom was the monster. Her dad was the human. And then we have Draculaura, who is a dickhead, but I guess she redeems herself. I don't fucking know. She has daddy issues and does witchcraft. And then we just got Frankie, who's just happy to be here. I love Frankie, bro. Frankie was so cool in the movie. They was so cool. But yeah, so basically Monster High the movie is about Claudine, who's a half-bred, and Monster High, they hate humans. Humans are stinky and gross. And so, even before then, Claudine, she wants to go to Monster High, and she's like, Dad, I got accepted to Monster High. And then her dad was like, what did I say, Mo? Are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, I want to be a room. Like, Mom went to Monster High, so I should go. So, you know, they blah, 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 talk, whatever. He lets her go to Monster High. She goes there and shit. And then, like, first class in, they're like, we hate humans. Humans are stinky and smelly. Humans are not allowed at Monster High. She's like, whoa. Because, you know, she's half human, but nobody knows. And then, she meets Frankie, Draculaura. Those are, her roommates. Cleo's not in the gang anymore. Cleo's just some bitter ex of, Deuce. They all made Deuce really corny. And Cleo just seems like a really bitter ex. And that's about it. I mean, I guess that fits her character, but the school starts like breaking or falling apart because there's a human here, and humans fuck up the school. So like school is falling apart, or whatever, and then like headmistress or whatever, she was like, there's a human here. We gotta get them out, because as we know, humans are not allowed here because humans are stinky and smelly and stupid. You know? And so, after that was the main problem. The school is falling apart because there's a human here. Claudine thinks it's her fault. Spoilers, by the way, but I think you should already know that if I'm doing a fucking review. But, Claudine knows that, and she's like, oh my god, I have to figure something out. In first class that she went to, Mr. Como's class, he was talking about some dude named Hyde. I don't think that was his name, but I just remember it was Hyde. And he was a half human, half monster that went to Monster High, but he got kicked out. But he was like a scientist or some shit, and he was making a cure to like get rid of his human side. But he got kicked out before he could take it, and so his laboratory is in the graveyard and stuff. And then Claudine's like, word? Heard you. And so they go to the graveyard to see the laboratory thing, but they can't get in because the hand mark, they don't know whose hand it is. They need a key or whatever. And so they get, because since Dracula is practicing witchcraft, which is also not allowed, witchcraft is also banned, and Dracula has daddy issues. That's her whole character. Dracula has daddy issues and practices witchcraft, and she wants to do what she wants to do. She wants to follow her own path, and that was her. Frankie was just happy to be here. I don't know if Frankie's character had any plot, but Frankie was just happy to be here. But they realized that the laboratory thing needs a key, and they're like, and Dracula was like, I can use my witchcraft. We need to get some things for a spell. And they needed like something from the headmistress's like mug, I forgot what it was called. It might have been like ogre or something. And then they needed a few other shit, and they needed snake viper. And you know, Deuce, he's a what's it called, like a gorgon or whatever, so he has snake hairs and shit. And Claudine and Deuce, I guess they like each other, but like they never kiss or anything. It's just kind of You're kind of cute. You're kind of cute too. I feel like you complete me. Oh my god, you complete me too. I feel safe. I trust you. That was their whole thing. It was not. It wasn't even like will they not? Cause we know they will eventually, probably. But it was just that. But Claudine went to go meet Deuce at like some bridge or some shit, and she was trying to get Snake Viper from him. And literally, the song that plays during that whole segment, that was the only fire song in the whole entire thing. Like the other songs weren't bad, but that one was low key a banger. But the only part I didn't like about the song was the fucking eyes that pissed me the fuck off. I don't know why. And oh, I forgot to mention, since Claudine is half human and she's trying to make sure like no one figures it out, she has like these panic attacks, and so her human side comes out and stuff. Like she loses her monster side and her human side comes out every time she gets like nervous or whatever. But yeah, that comes in. It shows up multiple times, but it comes in handy towards the end, I guess. But yeah, she tried to get the Snake Viper from Deuce and stuff, trying to sing the song, trying to sneak it and shit. And at the end of the song, she's like, "Yo, I need your Snake Viper," and he was like, "Oh, why didn't you just say that?" And then she gets a Snake Viper. She gives it to Dracula, and she helps make the spell that she needed for the witchcraft thing. And then they go back to the graveyard where the laboratory is, and she attempts to do it, but it doesn't work. So Dracula does the spell, but it doesn't open the door, and they're like, "Oh man, what do we do now? Oh no." And then the middle of the movie became kind of a blur to me, but I just know because the key is in a hand. It's like in the shape of a hand or whatever. They're like, "Oh my god, we don't have his hand, so we can't do it," or whatever. But I think what's her face? Claudine has like another panic attack or something. Oh no, here's what happened. I remember now. It didn't work, and then they sneak back in, and the headmaster's like, "What are you doing out late?" And then they figure out what's her face is doing witchcraft, and then after that, Dracula gets in trouble. They go back to their dorm and shit. But then Claudine's like, "I have to leave. I'm ruining the school," so she leaves in the middle of the night or whatever. And then Dracula and Frankie come to go find her and stuff, and they're like, "You should come back to school. There's something we can do." And then Claudine's like, "No, I can't." And then she gets off like the bleachers or whatever, and then she like falls into like some cement, and then it was because she started having a panic attack. And then I think she did. And her nails, like, since she's a werewolf and stuff, her nails like retracted and went back to her human hand. She fell with the human hand into like, I don't know what I think it was gravel, but that gravel was like cement. But yeah, her hand fell in this cement, and then she took it out, and she was like, "Wait a minute." And so they go back to the graveyard thing. She puts her hand in the key. Oh my god, her human hand in the key. Oh my god, it worked. They go back in. They go into the laboratory. Blah 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 blah. They look around and they find the cure. And then Claudine has a whole monologue. She was like, "Should I take it? It's like it's taking away my dad's side. Your dad isn't dying. You're just taking away your human side. Shut up, bro." Like, what? But yeah, she ends up not taking it because Mr. Komos, the one who told him the story about Hyde, his name is Hyde Jr. He was that Hyde dude's son. And so he was like, "Just give me it. You shouldn't do it. Whatever. He swigs it. He mutates into this ugly ass thing. And then he kills kids. That's what he did. He killed kids. That's what he was doing, bro. He killed kids." He killed kids, bro. Because after he mutated, he took Dracula's power, and then she was just limp. She couldn't do nothing because she didn't have her vampire powers. And they're like, "Oh my god, you're a monster." He's like, "Ha, power of friendship. I'm gonna rule Monster High because F them and whatever." And so they run out of the laboratory, and then the rest of the Gangatron is here. Deuce and them is here, and then Deuce is like, "Claudine, I'll save you." After like bro mutates, he literally, bro, Deuce was such a fucking L in like the final scene, because he was like, "I'll save you, Claudine," or whatever. And then Mr. Komos or Hyde Jr. whatever, he took Deuce's power, and then like reversed it back to Deuce, and then Deuce got turned into stone. He murked another kid. He kills kids. That's what's happening. He killed a child. But after that happens, he like, Yeah, I might get my brother. But after that happens, Claudine's like, no, Deuce, no, you can't do this. And then after she sees Deuce, dead on the floor, she was like, started crying and shit, and retracted back to human. She was like, you know what? I know what to do. So she retracts her human shit, and then she walks up to Mr. Komos, and Mr. Komos tries to take her power. She's like, you can't take a monster power for someone who isn't fully monster. And so she was like, I don't know what she said. It was some corny ass line, but then she took her phone with the camera and put it in front of his face so he would, like, you know, it would reverse back to him, and then he would turn himself into stone. And then when he turned into stone, everyone's powers that he stole went off. Happy ending, final dance. Dad comes to the school. Headmistress says, oh my god, Mr. Komos was the problem. All humans can come. So welcome to our first human student, Claudine Wolf. Everyone cheers. She starts singing. Everyone dances. Movie ends. And the movie ends with a cliffhanger to a fucking another movie. I don't want it. I don't want another movie. But it ends up with some chick in the globe. She was like, I need her. I don't know if it was toward Dracula or Claudine. It was one of them. But yeah, it was like a freeze frame of cause Dracula did some witchcraft type shit. Hi, editing bond here. Dracula like sniffs something out of a bottle, and then she starts levitating. And this is not the first time that she sniffs something. Dracula does crystal meth, confirmed. They levitated, Frankie over there, Claudine over there. Shit freeze frames. Maybe just move slowly or whatever, and then some chick saying, I need her, and then the movie ends. That was it. So, what did I think of it? It was mid. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like super duper good. It was a mid movie. The songs were alright. The costumes were atrocious. The fire dude, I forgot his name. His makeup looked terrible. The CGI could have been better too. Like the sets were fine, but it was just the CGI. I was like, God damn, why does this look so bad? Like the movie would be in like kind of like 1080p, but then the CGI is in like a good 720p. I'm like, bro, fix the quality. But like it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't bad. Like if you just need something random to watch, sure, go watch that. The songs were alright. The costumes could have been better. The costumes were atrocious. It was just him. And then when Mr. Como's transformed, I was like, why you look like that? Me and my girlfriend were watching it, and then we were all like, what the fuck? And I thought, like, look, bro. I thought Mr. Komos, before the transformation, he was low-key fine. He was low-key fine. I liked him. I didn't like his dance moves, though. Them shits were ass. But, like, Mr. Komos, before he, like, took the swig, he kind of fine. I'm sorry, but, like, he is. But, also, him as the villain, like, the movie was predictable. It was predictable. Some parts you're like, oh, word? But other parts you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like, with him being, like, kind of the villain and shit, it's not sus. It was just like, oh. Okay, but then again, it's a Nickelodeon movie, so we're not expecting big old plot twists. But yeah, him as, like, a twist villain, he was a mid one. He was a mid-twist villain, because we didn't even see him like that in the movie to, like, get attached or anything. We just knew he was a teacher, so him being a teacher, I guess, automatically makes him, like, cool or whatever. But other than that, it was just like, eh. He's a mid-villain. And then Dracula, her whole story is just she has daddy issues, and she does witchcraft. But all that gets resolved towards the end. He was like, well, not many vampires do witchcraft, so you better be the best one. She's like, oh my god, thanks, Dad. And then, yeah, and then Frankie is just happy to be here. Frankie was the best part of the whole movie. Frankie is just happy to be here. And I love that. The fucking, this shit, fire. Frankie was cool. And what else? Is that all? I don't know. Headmistress, she was alright. Everybody else was okay. Cleo, like, we saw, she was there a little bit. She was getting just, like, not teach respect. She was, like, a weird mean girl that they just didn't really do that much with her at all. They didn't do much with Cleo. So, yeah. Is there anything else? The songs were alright, I said that already. The costumes were shit, said that already. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, like, should you watch it? If you want to. I don't know. it's it's not a bad movie. Like, it was better than I expected, but it's not like, oh my god, this movie is great. No. It's mid. It's a mid movie. It's a good, like, 5.5. 10 being the greatest, 1 being the worst. It's a good 5.5, maybe like a high 6. It's mid. It's not bad. I don't like that they left off with a cliffhanger because I don't want a second movie. Because that means I have to do another video on it. But hey, more content, so that's right. Okay. I think we're done. I don't have that much to say. It's a mid movie, but it wasn't bad. The costumes were shit. The songs were alright. Mr. Colmos is fine. Before the transformation, after that, I was like, damn, this bitch is ugly as fuck. Okay. I think, yeah, that's about it. Alright, Bonchu's here. Bonchu's there. Bonchu's everywhere. My name is Lily Deadsec. This was, a review of Monster High, the movie. And I will see you sometime soon. There will probably be a video this coming Thursday. Okay? Okay. Later. I just finished recording this video. There's supposed to be a fucking trilogy. What the fuck?